Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for tuning in to the Quintessential Queens podcast, where queens come to be elevated, celebrated, and sometimes vindicated, but always educated. Today, I got here with me a quintessential king. We have kings on this show too, not just quintessential queens, but quintessential kings. And this is Chef Dexter. Chef Dexter, this is your third time sitting in this chair, I believe.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty decent because I keep making appearances here.
Yes, yes. And we keep getting a lot of likes and videos when you make appearances here.
It's always a positive. It's always a positive.
That's good. That means people want to see us. I love it. Let me tell you a little bit about this king here. So this is Chef Dexter. He is the CEO and founder of Healthier Souls. I want you to tell me more about Healthier Souls, Dex.
So, Healthier Souls is an organization that started in 2020. Through all the chaos that was going on in the world, I wanted to put together a program that did something positive in the community. And I sat back and I thought to myself, like, what would be best beneficial for me to help people in this time of need? And I felt like that I can use my talent, which was culinary arts, in which I went and got my degrees in. And I utilized those skills to put together a program to bring healthier options in the school system and organizations. So our kids, and not just our kids, but our parents can do a better job of eating healthy and knowing what they eat.
I like that you included the parents, that it's not just about educating the kids, but educating the people who take care of them. So you wanted to help the community through food. Tell me more about, you're utilizing food for education because you said you have some collaborations with some schools, right?
Uh-huh.
Tell us more about your collaborations.
So right now, since the last time, we have continued to expand. We are partnering with additional schools. We have schools that's on the way, and I've started a new program with schools. We are still looking for some assistance in regards of employment. If anyone out here is interested in becoming a member of Healthier Souls, they can please reach me at any of my followings on IG or Facebook, and or my email at www.healthiersouls@gmail.com. And we are expanding. We are in 5 schools right now, and we with one organization, and we are continuing to grow. We continue to build, and yeah.
So so then tell me, how are you using food as education for these schools that you're collaborating with? What exactly are you doing when you go in there?
Well, so for the most part, it's the basics, and I felt like that's very important for people to understand the basics of food, which is knowing your foods. We would be shocked to see how many people, kids and adults, that do not know what they eat, do not know what's in the food that they're eating. So, um, doing my observation and some of my research, I was able to go to certain schools and see the foods that they was eating and how it was affecting them. So what I've decided to do is I decided to bring the program in healthy eating to them. So I go to places that's outside of the food deserts, and I do my grocery shopping. I bring in fresh fruit, fresh vegetables. I will allow the kids to engage through live demonstration, and we talk, and we do like handouts and food educational facts on the food that we're eating. So, like, for instance, we read the labels, we calorie count, we decipher what is healthy, what is not healthy, what are some of the foods we should stay away from, and some of the foods we should add more into our diet. So that comes through the demonstrations, and we bring the experience there. We don't need a kitchen. That has always been a problem with culinary programs in the past, is that they figured they needed a kitchen. No, I provide every single thing that's needed. The organization provides the tools that's needed, and we allow the kids to see the experience in the lunchroom, in the classroom. It doesn't matter where they at. And it's been very successful for us so far.
So are they helping you prepare these
Oh yeah.
meals?
So in all of these experiences, I create reels on social media so people can see and be involved with what we're doing. We got kids that are washing the food. They have to know the importance of washing the food, washing the fruit, clean and sanitize. And some of the kids do not even know the basics, and parents too don't know the basics of cleaning up and washing your hands, and when food hit the floor and the table and stuff like that. So it is really the basics, but it's the basics that's needed for them to have the skills to know what's your health to eat. So
Well, I'm very much with you on the hand washing. Hand washing is important, period, all day, every day.
mhm.
That's the best defense you have against catching any colds and bacteria. Now, when food hit the floor, it's a 5-second rule.
At home, that's at home. That's not in the world. In the world, is dead. It's dead.
Like you can't just be throwing away that chicken because it hit the floor.
Now, if I got a placemat over the thing and it go from the plate to the placemat, then cool. But if it hit the table, I don't even know. No, we gonna toss that.
I don't know now. See, now you about to make some people upset out here.
I know it's tough out here, but we talking about food safety.
I like you said at home.
At
When it hit
home,
the floor at home,
it don't
not
count because guess
outside,
what?
not
At
outside.
home, nobody knows. You don't know who watching you in these school systems. You can drop something and be like, okay, and then about time you didn't put it in your mouth,
Just
then 5 or 6
what
people
you
that saw you
supposed to
already, and
do.
then your reputation is out the window.
You know what that is funny? Like he eating off the floor. What's wrong with him?
Uh-huh.
You did mention something that's pretty important. You said you shop outside of food deserts. So we're talking about food insecurities here. Where are you with that? Where there are a lot of people out here who don't have food to eat, and some of those children go to school. And I don't know if they're always identified, but the fact that it exists, food insecurities, where are you with that? What do you think we can do to decrease that or to help people with that?
When you say food secure, you mean insecurities in regards of like the foods that they're eating?
Well, because so they used to call food deserts.
Okay.
Now they say food insecurities, people that, where folks are hungry. That's
Mm.
the politically correct term to talk about people
Mhm.
who starving. Or the areas that, don't have the appropriate food. We've discussed that too, the areas and why. But what can we do about it? What is it we can do about that?
One thing I want to put out there before we even get into that, um, I've seen, and I know this is a little, but so what is it called? What's these organizations? Not shelters, but food pantries.
Food
Food
pantries.
pantries, because I'm a caseworker as well, the food pantries have been giving out some great food, some amazing food. I think now it's just more so us making the time to prepare the food, because I done took a couple of my clients to the food pantry, and I'm like, okay, they are getting some really good quality stuff. They just forced to cook them itself.
Hmm.
So in regards of that, I think that information is power. So more my program is to put that information out there. And the more we know our health about eating healthy, then we can go out to these different avenues and know where places to go to get the food that we need to. Staying on the west side of Chicago, there is not no good grocery stores that is in maybe a 5 mile radius. You're gonna have to go outside of Chicago. You're gonna have to go to Westchester. You're gonna have to go to Oak Park. You're gonna have to go maybe even to Schaumburg, or even have to go north. But I think that has to be what's done for us to do what's right, because we put the energy in a lot of other stuff. I think we just need to start putting more energy in us eating healthier,
I agree with you with that. I agree with you with that.
taking that time that we take some of the time off that we on social media, take some of the time off that we are worrying about things that's not in our control, and utilize our time more wisely throughout the day.
I agree. Have purpose in your movement. I think
I like that.
though
I like that purpose.
that you live in these communities, you have people over these communities, you got a mayor, you got an alderman. You need to do what you got to do to make sure that you have access to healthy food, whatever side of town you're on. Because
Uh-huh.
so that's unfortunate that you have to go outside of where you are many miles because where you're living is a food desert, or it has a large degree of food insecurities. That's You pay taxes that should not be. And we are in 2025. That needs to be fixed. People need to fix that. I totally understand what you're
And
saying
I don't
about
think we should
going
wait for it.
elsewhere.
Like we should. I don't think as people we should wait for someone to solve that for us. I think we just need to make the initiative to have the purpose of knowing what we have to do and just do it. We'll travel 2 hours to for a job every day.
Ooh, I try not to do
Yeah,
that.
it was
That's
people
just
when I
two
was
hours.
when I was driving in Stream when I was living in Streamwood, there was people that was living in far Indiana to
Ooh,
go to work every single day. So if we make it a priority, it can be done. Anything can be done. They say anything you want, you can get it if you put your mind to it. That is a very true statement.
And it is the truth. Anything you want to do, you can do. And if you come together as a community, one of those things you can do is make sure you have access to what you should have access to.
Hmm.
And you move with that purpose too. Move with that purpose as well. So I like
Absolutely.
the teaching. So now you're teaching these children in the schools. What are you teaching them?
Okay. So right now, one of the things that I'm teaching, one of the programs that I'm in charge of is I'm part of the AXO program. If no one knows, that's part of NAACP. And what we do is we also teach youth how to prepare food, have knife skills, and just experience working with the food. A lot of our kids are not used to that. That's something we have to get back familiar with, putting these things up to the forefront of the table. Uh, at fifth, sixth grade, children need to be more independent with knowing how they need to eat and how to prepare their foods. And it ain't just putting Roman noodles in the microwave or making peanut butter and jelly. No, it's actually knowing healthy things that they need to eat daily and even making a schedule for them to eat. So me, I'm just forcing the narrative in their face with all type of great healthy options. A lot of the kids and a lot of parents, some of the stuff they are not even familiar with or ain't seen it in a while because they're probably just managing right now. A lot of people are managing. We're in rough times right now. So nobody's going to go to the store and get a pineapple and cut a pineapple up. People are not going to go get no fresh grapes because grapes are very expensive right now.
Everything is.
Eggs are expensive. I want to do some omelets in these schools, but when I went and looked, it's like, woo, we're gonna have to do that at the end of the
We
semester.
gonna
So
have to do an
because
egg fast.
man, $9
Yes,
for
yes,
12 eggs, I
yes.
just can't wrap my mind around it.
That well, yeah, that those are one of the issues we're facing.
But I'm still putting that narrative in front of them. Healthy foods. We eating turkey. We staying away from some of the foods that we are accustomed to eating. Pork. I'm not hating on none of the red meat and stuff like that, but I'm letting people know the health of my nutritional education part. So just teaching them how to stay away from certain things that they're used to and adding more things to their diet.
That's good, and adding healthier things. So
Healthier things, yes, absolutely.
you're teaching them basic nutrition,
Hmm.
and their parents too. You said basic nutrition.
Yes.
Flipping over labels, checking out how much salt is in something, how much fat, how many calories, and how much of these calories are nutritious.
Yeah. So
Those are things that
we
we're
do a
looking at.
calorie count at the end of the class. So from our calorie count, we seem to come into the ranges of maybe 500 to 750 calories per meal that we make. And we subtract that from what the daily total calorie intake is supposed to be for everybody, which they say is supposed to be 2,000. So we have them have a broader view what they ate this morning. Because even though I'm not there, I asked them. That's probably like, what did you eat? What was healthy about the things that you eat? What can we change? Now you're eating this. Now, if you went and ate throughout the rest of the day, how many more calories do you have left throughout the day? keep that in mind. But just continue to work that narrative, and even starting with the younger kids. Because right now I got high school kids, juniors and seniors and stuff like that. And I have a couple of grammar school programs, but even just starting more with the kids that's in fourth and fifth grade. So
Yes,
about
yes.
time they get to high school, they can be well equipped.
That's right. That's training up a child. Train
Mhm.
them up how they should eat healthy, as well as training them up with everything else. Since we're talking about that, tell me, what are some unhealthy habits we have with food, and how do we correct it?
One of the major unhealthy habits we have, and I spoke on it earlier a little bit, is not knowing what we put in our mouth. We have been accustomed to just eating what we see and not even knowing what we're eating. So, for instance, what I do sometimes is, I haven't been doing this a lot this semester, but like when I bring in different type of burgers and different type of meat, I've actually brought like Beyond Meat in, and I don't tell the kids.
Meatless meat? That's what
Meatless
you
meat.
gave them?
Gave them meatless meat, and they had no idea.
No, that's
And
what they were eating up.
so I do this every year where I do this like I create a spaghetti, and I want them to I bring in prizes, and I say, okay, let me see who can guess the type of ingredients that I have in this spaghetti. And it's already like 15 different ingredients, but the one thing they never know is that I don't have um beef or pork or turkey. It'd be meatless meat,
It's Beyond Meat. Yeah,
and it tastes the same.
don't be feeding me no meatless meat. I could tell the difference.
It's just something that's really good. The chicken is really good, but I don't push that narrative so much no more, because now, just even off me being in education, that's like a snack as well too, because it's kind of, even though it's meatless and it tastes well and a lot of flavor, but it's still a lot of carbs too. So you can still be eating a carb on top of a carb. So I've taken away that, when I added more protein, like
Mhm.
a lot of ground turkey
Sure.
and turkey, and make the kids understand the importance of having protein and having fiber and taking away some carbohydrates, so you can be strong, and use the reference of going to the gym and working out, so they can be motivated to have these things, be healthy when they get older.
I like that game, though. Have them guess the ingredients. That's a
Hmm.
wonderful like icebreaker, and a wonderful way to get them involved. To
Hmm.
get them excited about food and healthy food. Not just which I love me some sweets and sugar. We've been getting them. Me and sugar done been together a long time. It's hard to break the bond.
It's
But
all right to have a cheat, it's all right. I
it'd
do
be
it.
more than a cheat. Like I just bought a box of those oatmeal pies, and I ate all of it in like a matter of a day.
No, now CD,
I
you know
did,
better.
but they little. They done made them small
Yeah,
now.
yeah. We're gonna look at the back and per serving how many, what I'm saying, they
We
say
don't, right. Shame on me.
345 per
Shame on
serving.
me.
Then
Shame
that's
on
what scared me
me.
more than anything.
Shame
Now,
on
when I
me.
see, because look, you'll have two of them in there, and then people try to ignore that
The serving.
the one is two of them in there, but it's per serving is two. So if it's 350, that means you finna eat 700.
Just two little pies with delicious cream on it. Yeah.
So if you bang out four of them, then that's 1,400. That's two meals.
That's
All four. Then you're gonna still
terrible.
want something to eat.
It's terrible. But good point that he brought up. When you flip over when you flip over your food and read the label, look at what the servings are. The whole box is not the serving. The serving is one pie or one cupcake, or whatever it is. Or if it's potato chips, it tells you 10 chips, not the whole bag. 10
Yeah.
chips
So
is
just because
that
it
many
got four in there,
calories.
that doesn't. Or you got a whole bag. The whole bag is not 250 calories.
That's right.
It's 12 chips, and it's 130 chips in there. So now you do the math.
Now you can pretend like you didn't know. I
But
didn't
people,
know. I ain't know.
people don't know that,
No, I
and
know
they
people don't.
ignored that, because I've ignored it. So I know they ignored it.
Well, it's good to know. First of all, I don't even recall flipping over labels until somebody actually brought it to my attention as a teenager, to actually look at what you're eating and look at what they got in it, and the servings. You definitely got to pay attention to those servings. One,
Absolutely.
if you're counting your calories, and if you're also counting ingredients, like if you want less salt, less sugar, you have to look at that. How much is in each serving? How much? I don't know. Those pies, like you said, one is about 200, right?
And 50. Don't cut it. 250.
Then I ate like 4. So yeah, that shame on me. Shame on me. This is the thing about choices in eating. I could have just eaten 1. I didn't have to eat 4. I didn't have to, but I'm working on it. Me and sugar been together a long time. It's hard to
It's
break
okay to
up.
have sugars, but we just gotta monitor. We gotta have healthy sugars. It's sugar in our fruit, so we have to be more mindful of switching those things out. And I've been doing that lately because sometimes it's hard for me not to go to the store to get a Snicker when I just want to get some quick energy, right? And it's a fight.
It
It
is.
is a fight.
It's a battle. At least you're
Then
being honest
yeah,
about
but
it.
then I had, when I think about it, I say, okay, that Snicker is it's gonna be roughly, $4 anyway. It's gonna be so much instant gratification, but in the long haul, So how about I just go to Smoothie King and get me a peanut butter smoothie with the banana and the strawberry and the
That
dates
sounds good too. That
and
sounds
replace
real
that with
good.
that. And I
That's
feel better when I do that.
I do that as well. Like
Hmm.
instead of getting a candy bar, I'll go get an orange because at least these are some natural sugars and not added sugar. I'll
100%.
take a fruit as opposed to the candy.
Hmm.
But anybody who knows me, especially people who grew up with me, the relationship I have with candy. And since we're talking about that, relationship with food, I love me some candy and sugar. Is food your love language, Chef Dex?
Of course it's my love language. It is. I had to think about that.
Did you really?
I had to think about it, but I had to actually evaluate myself over the course of a period of time and how I utilize food. And the one thing that I had to look at is that I love to entertain people with food because I know it's essential to life and people love to eat and people love to eat good. And what I love
Mhm.
to do is I love for people to eat good and it's healthy at the same time. So I love to entertain company. When I was in relationships, though, that was my thing. I love to cook for my significant other, and yeah, that's going to be probably my love language for the rest of my life.
And you said company. What kind of company we talking about?
Just in relationships when I was married before. um I like to hold get-togethers as well. I like to get some of my close people together, and I love to do like a spread of hors d'oeuvres, or even through the holidays I've at least tried to do cooking one holiday out the year just so people can come over and get something different than what they are eating, traditionally on Thanksgiving or Christmas. So when people are making a dressing and stuff like that, I am doing turkey tips and I am
Oh,
doing
I love turkey tips.
salads and of course I had the greens, um, a variety of fruit. So I try to switch it up, just so people can have different options and be a little bit different. So yeah, that's definitely
It's a
essential of my
it's a
love language.
lot of camaraderie and support and healing over food because that's usually when you're sitting down breaking bread with somebody that you're close to these people, right? You
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
you develop a bond over the interaction, and that's a lot that goes on with family. That's your friends. You're talking about your day and you're talking about your goals and you do all of that over that big spread. So food and eating has a very large part in our movement and what we do. And
Hmm.
healthy eating, I think it's so important that you introduce that. Like you said, you're making turkey tips and somebody else is making dressing, and ain't nothing wrong with eating dressing. I love me some dressing, but it's in proportion, and you're talking about mindful healthy eating.
Uh-huh.
Have the appropriate portions for those
And I want to
things.
add to that, D, like also one of the things that I've incorporated major in 2025 is intermittent fasting.
Oh, you do intermittent fasting?
Intermittent fasting.
I was just watching something on Channel 11about intermittent fasting, but he called it something else. He didn't call it intermittent fasting, but giving your body
A break.
rest from food.
Your body needs a break from eating, right? It makes sense, right? So every human being fasts, right?
I don't know about
Yeah,
every.
you do. Every do.
Yeah, I fast when I go to sleep. I'm not eating when I'm
Exactly.
asleep.
That is a fast.
Yeah, that's why I
You're
keep it.
depriving your body.
I keep it
And
right there.
and to have the strength of fasting, it is shutting your body down 2 or 3 hours before you eat and picking it up 3 or 4 through 2 or 3 hours after you eat. That right there gives your body time to heal and not deal with inflammation. If you have an inflammation, if you're having stomach issues, you have to have a period of time where nothing is going through your body and you're just drinking water. And you're a nurse, when you go to the doctor, when you go to the hospital and you're sick, what do? Every hospital in America, they do. They
And then
put an
they ask you a
IV in
bunch of
your
questions.
arm.
Not always. You don't got to have IV. You mean
When
fluids or
fluid,
just
when
the
you have to get
needle?
fluids, right?
Oh
When you
yeah,
have to
when you
get
get
fluids,
fluids, is a
and
reason.
what's the fluids that they have? It's
It depends on what's going on with you. They
mm-hmm,
just give you normal saline because that's what we give everybody. That's kind of the generic IV fluid.
mm-hmm.
But then we got lactated ringers. Then we have, fluids with sugar in it, or like what we call like
Depending
normal
on what
saline and
you are
dextrose. What's going on
deficient
with you?
in, a lot of the times dehydration has a lot to do with that, and they put
Dehydration
water in your
does.
body and drip the water in your body for about 2 or 3 days
Those are
to flush you out and
those are
then
those
send you right
fluids.
on away. And guess what, D? You can do that at home.
You really can.
You
You
can do
really
that at
can.
home.
And you can
You
do
can,
it by mouth. You
and you
really
can
can.
save money. You can save money when you know you're sick. You already know when you go to the doctor, you know what they're gonna tell you. You know what they're gonna do. They're gonna give you some Tylenol and they're gonna give you some ibuprofen. And they're gonna tell you to go home and rest, and they're gonna tell you to don't eat anything. And guess what? Watch this. Here go the bigger thing right here. Everybody that don't listen to that, right? Everybody that say after about 6 hours, I'm finna try to eat some, right? What do? They restart their symptoms right back up. And that's why it takes them so longer to get over they whatever
Whatever
they
their
dealing with,
ailment
because they
is.
never allowed themselves to shut down. Soon as you get sick, you supposed to shut down, fluid up, water, fight that little 1 or 2 days, and guess what? Maybe 3 days, day three, you back feeling well. That's the best cure and remedy in regards of healing, because the body heals itself.
Rest and hydration. And
100%.
every place you go to,
Absolutely.
they're not gonna just give you a Tylenol and send you
Yes,
home.
they is 800 milligram ibuprofen, 500 milligram Tylenol, and tell you to go home.
That's not the truth. That is not the truth. Sometimes they might do that. That ain't gonna be every time. You're like, this is the remedy. You can stay at home and do
Most of the truth.
that.
But it's funny because
Hydration
we go
is
through it though,
important.
because we know that in some cases that's what it
Hydration
is.
is important, and replacement of electrolytes is important. You could drink a drink that you buy at a store with electrolytes in it, or coconut water. Ugh, if you can stand it. I can't
It
take it.
depends.
Ooh,
Oh yeah, I mean coconut water
coconut
is.
water.
Oof.
It tastes terrible.
But when I
But
was
if you
training for
like
the
it, drink it.
marathon, though, that was the best thing because
That's what they
it just
say.
go right to your
That's what they
soul,
say. It
So
go to your
go
soul.
right to your soul.
It go right to your soul. Speaking of souls, Mr.
Healthier
Healthier
souls.
Soul. So we were talking about like the relationship with food, and you were saying it is your love language. Talk a little bit more about relationship. You know, what are some of the insecurities you have? What are some unhealthy boundaries that, other people have? Tell me about it. Sprinkle me, Dex.
But I think the past have something to do with every single thing we talk about, right? It's just when we do not allow ourselves to heal from what has occurred to us in the past, it is just a a hurricane
Mm,
that happens after that in regards to how we deal with people. And so insecurities are built from being hurt already. When you have been deficient somewhere in your life, some people early, some people later. Some people, it could have been in the beginning, father issues, daddy
hmm
issues, mama issues, abandonment issues. Then you got some people that have been hurt on a level that they didn't expect, and those things are very hard to rebound off of. As a recent with me, I've been through some fire in the beginning, and a lot of people, say, and I've been going through therapy. I'm not ashamed to say I went through therapy for
Yeah,
what,
nothing wrong with
you know,
therapy.
but when people ask me, why, like, some people say, hey, you've been through it, just get it and move on. You know, that's easier said than done. That
Sure
is
it
the
is.
most
Sure it
easy. That is
is.
the most craziest thing that people can say to
You
you.
don't even want to
You
hear it, huh?
know,
Go ahead and move on. Well, it's the truth. You do need to do that. It's just a matter of how do you do it.
it's. I mean, it's in reference to like losing your job unexpectedly. All of these things are shocks.
Hmm.
I hate to
Hmm.
say something as tragic as this, but even death.
Yes, it is.
It's like death. Is when you lose a person that you're close with and that you love, and then a turn of events that they pass away, your life changes.
Well, a lot of people have referenced breaking up with someone like with death because you are losing that person. I mean, they're still alive, which, sometimes you probably wish they weren't. But what I'm saying is that, it's equivalent to that.
Yeah,
It's equivalent. You've
it's
lost that
and
person.
I think it's the shock factor, not just like I lost a person, because we lose people, we lost family members that you know. I don't want to say it didn't hurt as much and stuff like that, but you lost. But when you lose someone that you love and you wanted to be with, that pain is different than anything else in the world. And that brings on a level of insecurity that is only solved through a few ways. And that is, one is therapy, one is completely identifying and processing yourself through the situation. You have to process through what didn't happen. The people who ain't talking, them the ones I'm scared of.
Mm.
But you have to talk through, and it doesn't mean that you are still dealing with what's going on. No, you're not dealing with. You don't want that person back because you're processing what went wrong in the
I
relationship.
want that person to just fall off the earth. Just fall. Just
That's
fall off
not.
the earth. Just fall off the earth.
That's not
Go
realistic.
into outer space. Just go do that.
That's not realistic to happen. And so that's that's something that is new, that you said like fall off the earth, right? So what that's equivalent to saying is, now you have to learn how to live your life knowing this person is not your person no more, and they gonna be somebody else's person, and being okay with it. That's pretty tough.
Why I gotta be okay with it though? I
That's
gotta
tough.
be
That's
okay
tough.
with it.
That's tough.
You just fall off the earth.
It
Just do it,
only way it's
please.
not tough if like, and I was telling a partner this the other day. The only way that that's not tough if y'all mutually split. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, people, that's there, and there's something to that. Knowing how to break up, but that's the same
No,
thing
you
as
not even
knowing
just
how to
knowing.
argue.
You could just be tired of a person. Like you could be with somebody 3 years and you tired of them, and they tired of you. You know what I'm saying? And you be like, you know what?
And they
It's time.
tired of you
You know
too.
what? I feel free. You know what I'm saying? It's a level of freeness that comes with that. But when you don't have that, when you have a disagreement or there's a level of betrayal, that's the biggest word right
Yeah,
there.
you're right
The
about that part.
betrayal, that's something that I still struggle with, man. I struggle with putting my time in with a person and building a person up in some light. I wanted the best for you. And you not with me now. Oh my God. That take a little time. I'll just say that.
It probably does. It probably does. But
That take
then,
time.
to me, it always goes back to how you picking them anyway. You wanna just gotta pick better sometimes,
I don't know,
and we
D.
have to
That's
take that responsibility. You gotta pick better.
man, it's a different ball game now. Like it's the game changes every few years, and it's not the same anymore. It's not the same. And what women are looking for is different now, and what men are looking for is different now. And we seem in like we not capable of meeting in the middle no more.
We're capable. I think people just, first of all, nothing new under the sun. The things that change, they're in rotation. It happens all the time. Nothing new under the sun. People are capable. It really is a matter of knowing how to be capable to meet somebody in the middle or to compromise. And what are you utilizing to push forward? Now, once you recognize your triggers and you recognize your insecurities, what do you do to better things moving forward?
But the thing is, it's like people, once they have been hurt and they dealt with some certain things, they see things moving forth a little bit different. But now the new task is, how do you give yourself again to someone in a manner, and trusting giving yourself to someone in that manner and being okay with that? Because what I want might not be all the way what the person that I want to be with want. Are you willing to make that sacrifice? A lot of people now are not willing to make that sacrifice. So people will say like, okay, I've been hurt. So I'm gonna wait before I start spending money on a woman in a relationship because I want to see if she there.
You got to get that kind of stuff out of the way in the beginning. Do we have the same core values? Do we have the same philosophies? Do we believe in building each other in the relationship, or do we believe that you build you, I build me, and we'll see what happens? Get all that stuff out of the way in the beginning.
People
It's
be
no
lying.
reason. People be lying.
They be lying.
What? Pick
That's
better. Pick
And
better.
we're gonna keep picking better, and then guess what?
Pick better.
You're gonna be 57 at this point right now. So it's like it changes.
So you
throughout.
saying pick bad? Pick bad?
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, like, I think the purpose of me saying that is that we have to change some of our moral values of what we think for the betterment of what we want overall in the relationship.
That's true. That's
overall.
True. You got to start with you. You really do have to start with you.
You got to change some of the things that you say
together.
that you said you wasn't gonna do. If I'm gonna have to come to terms that to be in a successful relationship, I might have to be able to date a woman and spend money and be okay with spending money to see where she at.
You get
I'm gonna have to do
argument
that. I might have to do that.
No
do I really want to do that? I really don't, because I don't want to just spend money on a person and then they like, you know what? I feel indifferent from what you feeling, and it's been 6 months now, and now all you doing is adding up like, damn, I had spent that. We went out here for this. We did that.
First of all,
I could have bought these.
You should be
Travis
able
Scotts.
to recognize that before 6 months.
No. Oh yeah, before 6 months. Yeah.
You should be able to recognize that. And at our ages, we're not teenagers. We ain't adolescents. You should have much better discernment in picking people. First of all, your circle, your friends. You ought to do better with that. And if you're talking about a mate at this age, it's not that playing around and let's figure this out. Do you have the same core values that I have? Do we have the same beliefs? Otherwise, you'll be bumping heads all the time. Mm-hmm. Or do you know how to compromise certain things?
Or when people, here go a big one too, because this is one of the things I struggle with. I struggle with seeing those things and still just thinking I can work through those things with a person. I don't too much believe in that anymore going forth. Like, I think what you show me now is what it is. And, I had to, that's old. Right. See, that's old school type of thinking. I've been raised by my father again. Everybody knows this. And my father is a person that, he dealt with a lot. You know what I'm saying? I would just say that he dealt with a lot, and I seen him deal with a lot, but I never seen him weather. I never seen him be overwhelmed. He rode out with every single thing that happened. And then in the end, he's the winner. You know what I'm saying? And
he persevered. He had persevered. A lot of resilience and perseverance.
I seen that happen. And when you see that coming up, and I just talked to my father before I came here. When you see that, that's the mindset that I went into all of my previous relationships with, and that does not work anymore.
Yeah, because what you see, there's no need to turn a blind eye or a deaf ear to it. You have to be more realistic. And some people might say, okay, I could deal with this. It ain't no big deal. But if you know you can't, the discussion needs to go on immediately. This behavior right here, I can't deal with. And I would expect the same. This behavior, D, I can't deal with, all that loud talking you be doing or all of that back talk. What's a back talk from a grown woman? Whatever it is, though. But if that's...
Do you listen?
If you can't deal with it, go somewhere. That means we don't need to be together.
So that means you don't. You said everything in a nutshell, dude.
It don't mean that at all. It just mean if what's a part of me is something you can't deal with, we don't need to be together. And the same thing,
We
like
just talked about change, right? Like, didn't we just say, like,
I can
for
change.
partnership, right? In partnership, you gotta change
But you
for
telling me not to talk. I'm
no,
gonna
not
talk.
to, oh,
I'm
no,
gonna
no. Nobody
talk.
said don't talk.
What you say
We
then?
just said just the brashness, the
Okay,
Barry
okay,
White
okay,
in the
right,
voice.
right.
You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
I could do that.
The
I could do that.
challenging,
I could do that.
submissive. You know what I'm saying? Is that even still relevant? No. Everybody quiet. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Yeah, see, that is everything right there. Everybody quiet. No, it was. I heard the cars outside. I heard somebody on their phone in the car outside.
I think you used the wrong word.
Think about it. Okay, yeah, cool.
Submission is a really relative word. And the only reason it means anything to me is because I was raised in church. Otherwise, I don't know what to tell you.
A church
like,
word.
Crickets. It's a church word.
That's it. A church word. You know.
Well, look, thank you for coming here and sharing all of this with me. You don't have to come back for part 2 of this. We always have. It's always good to have good conversation, male, female. You know, you get both perspective on the same subject. So thank you for providing that perspective. Thank you for teaching young people and their parents about nutritional choices. And thank you for allowing them to have access to that education. Tell all of us, where can we find you and Healthier Souls if we want to get in touch with you?
All right. So you know, my handles are on IG is Healthier Souls, just simple as that. Or you can also follow me on Facebook and also on my personal page on IG at Dexter Guthrie. You can also reach out to me via email at healthiersouls.com. On our website, you can see all of the great things that we have going on. Feel free to leave a comment. We are doing so many great things in the community. We have AXO that's coming up in about 2 months. I want to get everybody involved. You will see me post these things. Please be active on my page. See all the great things that we're doing in the community. I'm on the board at Navy Pier. Please come to Navy Pier. We have a lot of community engagement stuff that is for the children, for people. It is so bright. I want to have people to be involved in these things. And upcoming too is we have a couple races coming up. We have the Shamrock Shuffle that's coming up. We got the 5K at Navy Pier, and be on the lookout because the bike club is going to start up in a few months too. Let's get to know our health. Let's promote health and wealth through this time of despair in the world. Let's be around great energy and put God first.
Spell Healthier Souls for us.
It's HEALTHIER. Healthier Souls with a Z.
Souls with a Z. SOULZ. I think the way you ended it was perfect. You know, put God first, because that's who we believe in. We believe in God. You all might believe in something else, but it's God for us. And remember to take care of yourself and take care of each other. That's really what it's about. And you can do that with healthy foods. You can have that camaraderie at the table with meatless meat if that's what you want to eat, but you can make better choices. And I like that, you know, seek out your food pantries if you're having issues with food insecurities or food deserts.
And the pantries got some good stuff, y'all. The pantries got some good stuff.
They have great food for you. They have nutritious food for you. So please do that. Please access that. That is a public service for you and anyone who needs it. I want to thank you all again for joining me and Chef Dexter here on the Quintessential Queens podcast. We're right here on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart station. Please subscribe to the channel. There's so much here for you all to look at on Intellectual Radio. We got something for everybody. Chef Dex, thank you again.
My queen. Check out our shirt, y'all. Healthier Souls.
Healthier Souls, you see. Healthier Souls.
Y'all take it easy.
Take it easy.